You are. I will say words that make nada. Alright, there we go. Alright, looks like audio is adequate, as usual. And yeah. Let's switch inputs, do the one thing I need to do, and then we'll go about our business. And there was a network error. On the bright side, it looks like I get quality options, so it's not all bad. Whatever. Right, it pings me. Press this button. Did I fuck that up? Oh, crap. There we go. I hate thumbnail cards. They are like the worst thing ever invented. Alright, so let us take a quick look, or a long look, at entry 58, which is named The Dark Cave, and uses exactly the same input text as everybody else in the whole game. Whole contest, this is the same intro text we will be seeing forever. Alright, what do we got? Oh, this is a lovely overworld. Alright, nothing there. What are the flags for this level? Coins. Wait. Coins and moon. Okay. Have to keep an eye out for both of those things. This is called To the Dark Cave, and it starts out in the regular world. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess that works out. Oh, stop, Faro. Oh no, it is in fact your level. I mean, everybody made every level in this contest, so it would always be your level. Anyway, how you doing, Faro? I saw your tweet earlier. I greatly appreciated it. You know, being amongst the 12 people involved. I had to change it up this time. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is definitely a dark cave. Can you jump on fish? You cannot jump on fish unless they are jumping on you. Definitely a worthy prize, though. Alright, guess I'm gonna go through the pipe. Getting over sick? Nice. I got the moon. I can't see the rest of the level, but I got the moon. So cool. This is gonna kill me, isn't it? Nope. Just gonna drop back down again. There are many plans I had. That was not one of them. Not a good one of them. Alright. Much better. After you posted it, you immediately thought of 5 others you wanted to list. That's why you don't usually do those types of tweet trends. Yeah, that's fair. That is completely fair. It's one of those things kind of hard, like actually narrowing things down to like the top 10 things. Like if you ask me what like my top 10 Mario hacks I've played through moderation, I would have a very hard time of it. Just because like it's really hard to narrow down things down. There's always like 1 or 2 extra things that you wish you could mention but can't, and quite honorable mentions are generally a thing in top 10 lists, even going back to, you know, David Letterman. This is weird. Can I get in there? No? That's probably for the best. A weird level. It's got dragon coins, but I have... Never mind. Mario hangs out in the pool for a moment. You got listed in one, Hooded Edge, and then Daizo did, and you felt like you should do it too. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, don't feel like peer pressure to do it, but if you're gonna have a fun time doing it, you might as well. And it's awesome you got mentioned by those two. Those are cool guys. Though I imagine, I hope they have a better impression of me than just someone who shitposts in your stream sometimes. Which I admit is an awful lot of fun. Alright, there we go. I really should tweet more, given that I just generally don't. Pretty sure that's what Twitter accounts are for. But I also don't want to be one of those people who like tweets like 30 times a day. I really like to keep it for things that are relevant and interesting. General philosophy. Leveled up in the... Aw, dang it. This has got to be a vine or something. I'm gonna throw it this way just to be sure. Oh, this level's got so much slowdown. It's the problem with doing the disco light. It just doesn't work on console or any accurate emulator, and it just makes the levels so slow and floaty. Although I'm still liking this level. It's got like cool aesthetics and it's got a good like theme idea. Just I hate the disco light. It's not the way to do it, and there was nothing over here worth dying for. Okay, so there's a door. I'm probably gonna regret this. I'm gonna go through the door. It's a reset door. Not sure I feel good about there being a reset door here. And suddenly I realize why there's a reset door. That thing does not let you get behind the scenes. That is bullshit. Huh. Also skip the next 40 entries so you can see the one you want to play. You know, Faro, no. If I skipped a whole bunch, I'd like get confused about where I was, and the only way I know where I was by looking at by looking at my notes, since it's a non-trivial amount of time between each play of most levels. But soon, I'm focusing on this. This is the thing I am going to do. I am not going to play other fun hacks. I am not going to play other games on stream. This is the thing I am doing till it is done, for the most part. There might be like one stream where oh, thanks for those, SMW Central. I hope that didn't break anything. So, I assume that's you, Nope. You indeed did try. I'll get there eventually, Faro, I'll get there eventually. It's bound to happen one of these days. And sooner than later. Like, I'm definitely doing more than one of these a week now. That is a thing that is happening. Alright. So now, instead of doing something dumb, we'll do this. And get the P-switch jump because there was lag. Alright. That's a fourth one. Ditch him because he's going to kill me in half a second. This is an Akogari and I don't need to do a fancy jump. Okay. Nothing up here. Still nothing there. Don't want to be dealing with that. Alright, so there's the 5th dragon coin. So all 5 dragon coins are available in this level. Pick up this pipe. Nope. Alright. Cool. Onward and upward and very possibly outward. I appreciate the power-up suddenly. The end of it all. $24, baby. What's up, Nope? How you doing? Alright, that was a cool level. There are parts of that I really liked. I don't care for the, disco light, but I do like what they did here. So let me write some words. You're good, probably won't be here long, you're super tired. Yeah, fair enough, it's already 3:30 your time. 3:40 your time. What's up, Quantum? How you doing? Just gonna have a short drink and then do some typing. You doing fine? Excellent. Vacation day. Oh, nice. Just took the day off for any specific occasion? It's not a holiday in here in America, so I wouldn't know. Just took it off? Nice. Good call. Alright. Caught me at a bit of an unfortunate part here where I need to type things about the level I just beat. But it was a decent level, so I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, I have typed words and it's time to move on to number 59. Hopefully we won't end up doing anything nearly as stupid as we did yesterday. Because I spent like an hour on a puzzle that didn't exist. Alright. Welcome! This is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find the Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. Drinking games that would kill you every time you read the default text in this particular set of ROMs. And it's Yoshi time. This is Untitled Yoshi Island 1. So, good level for it. Yoshi rolls his eyes at your Yoshi time. Alright. Okay. Well, I have options here. Yeah, I'm glad I checked out my options here. Checking the, It's illegal to be Yoshi? No, it can't be illegal to be Yoshi. Yoshi's cool. Coins, no moon. Yeah, I've got some USB to SNES trickery going on. Make Yoshi appear when he needs to appear, and other characters. If you look under the point incentives, there's a whole bunch of random stuff there. Including resetting the game, though no one's done that one in a while. I have to look. I think the last time might have been when I was playing Final Fantasy V. Yoshi is best boy? Indeed. Can't be illegal. What if you get a Yoshi in a level while playing as a Yoshi? Then you ride a Yoshi double time. Yeah, Yoshi rides Yoshi. It's weirder when Tiny Yoshi is carrying another Tiny Yoshi. That is actually disconcertingly strange. But otherwise, it works out. Okay, this is a level. That looks like a standable platform. Okay. Very exploration-based. I dig this. I've had a few too many linear levels in the last set. Right. My moderator senses are tingling. If you give me a cape, I will try to get on top of your level. Even if it's a bad idea. And boy, was it. He did the same thing with this one. Well, it's just one of those things, when you see it, you have to do it. Also, I really love the tiny Yoshi and his eye rolling. One of my favorite things about this sprite. I think maybe tomorrow I'll take a little bit of time and add the Daisy sprites if I can figure out how. Because the Daisy sprite looks really cute. Oh, crap. Alright, other things we failed to do. We kind of forgot to check out anything past that pipe. So. Yeah, you're excited about Daisy? It's just one of those things where, like, I'm used to one way of getting sprites, and I'm not... yeah, I need to figure out how that works for non that way. Okay, nothing here. I guess in the event that there is a yellow switch palace, there'd be something there. But we don't have that yet. So odd. Well, hello. Okay, that's clever. Not, like, good, but clever. Intriguing. Yoshi is quite greedy. Even gets the shell coin. Alright. We already went up there. We don't need to do that one again, as much fun as it was. We'll take this shell and use it for the obvious purpose of kicking far away from me instead of actually using it to solve the puzzle. At least you can't get soft locked in there. That's a good thing. It's one of those problems with using spin blocks as a gate. Okay, what do I do here? First destroy those, hop in what is hopefully an Eldad cloud, and see what's down here. It was not an Eldad cloud. Well, it didn't need to be an Eldad cloud, I guess. Huh? Okay, we got a puzzle here, I think. Alright, so I've got a P-switch. Alright, all of these are blocks. You know, there's an awful lot of options here for solving this puzzle, but I choose this one. That was a good choice. Let's see if I get another one. Yeah, I get two. Remember seeing Note play this? Wait, what? Oh, that was dumb. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. Yeah. Okay, so I get the feeling that this level is one of those ones where getting all the dragon coins won't be that bad, so we're gonna go for doing it all at once, even if it does require a little bit of backtracking. And I do want to see the other part of the level that the cloud would enable, because we didn't look at that. Just moderator things, backtracking to weird parts of levels even after you beat them. Alright. Go, Yoshi, go, Yoshi, go! The power of dropping shells, I tell you, is one of the best powers. Could have done that slightly better, but alright. Okay, so what is through the teeth here? And if it's a pipe, we're just gonna go back. Okay, nothing over here. Pipe, like I thought. I'm like 80% sure that pipe is going to take me to the place that the bonus pipe over here took me, so... Instead, we'll get stuck in the cloud for some reason. Okay, we got this. We'll try it the a more standard way this time. There we go. Alright, now this time we're not going to fall into oblivion at the first opportunity. Intriguing. Well, nope, just a free life in case you need it. Really? That's the end? Okay. Give you the worst possible thing you could see level design-wise for SMW? Oh man, what's the worst possible thing? I would say the worst possible thing is needing to keep track of about 4 different things that are on different cycles. And having to wait such that there is exactly one time when you can go through. Like, you've got a boo ring, you've got those red-vined piranha plants, I don't know, lightning striking you, maybe some baseballs, that sort of thing. Thank you for the GGs. Anyway, it's time for me to be quiet and write some words, hopefully good ones. Okay. Power up and checkpoint starvation along a difficult level. That is also a yeah, I would agree with that too. Like, there are some levels that I've played that would have not been so bad if you just gotten an extra mushroom or two or a checkpoint or two. The 24-hour contest level that I really didn't care for, the lightning one, like, if that had 3 checkpoints in it, I think I would have been fine with that level. It would have been fun. Like, figuring out each part would have been fun, but, like, the fact that it had 1 checkpoint for how long it was just made it painful. Literally, most of Under Crimson Skies. Yep, that would do it. We went back into Fortress Temple legit the other day, boss and all. Oh my. I remember that one being the worst of the set. And part of that was because I think I got raided twice during that, and while my stuff usually works, in Under Crimson Skies, it basically soft locks the game if I pop up in a message box. I think Illustrious actually did it on purpose, and I don't blame him. That was actually pretty funny. But there was no way they would have known that. All right, that is good. Number 60 means we're almost halfway there. All right. Will this be a different message box? Tune in right now to find out that it's a different message box. It's my first participation in LDCs. Hope you like it. TY. Contain Moon, Yoshi, coins, secret exit, and much fun. I'm glad it contained it. I would love it if it contains it, or contained it, but containing it is fine too. Alright, so yeah, exit, Moon. See if you want. Cloud9. Alright. We'll take a look at the other two levels after this. Oh, sneaky. Always like a good, like, trick move to the left. Don't see that too often anymore. Was not the angle I expected. Alright. Okay. Well, that reminds me, I actually got to show off some of the 24-hour levels to someone who doesn't play too many hacks the other day. My sister was in town and we had some time to bullshit, and I'm like, well, here's some cool levels I played recently. Got to show off Far's 24-hour level design contest winning entry, and she definitely appreciated the aesthetics. Not the gameplay. She's not that good at Mario World, but still very cool aesthetics. It was more of a, like, I've got the SD to SNES out, I might as well do something with it. Okay, nothing down there. She was kind of exhausted. She had just climbed a mountain. Entire reason she was up here, trying to climb the resident large mountain. Unfortunately, weather basically decided, no, you don't get to climb the mountain today. You get to go most of the way up the mountain, and then climbing down the mountain will be somewhat miserable, because that's how mountains work. But, you know, it's the gamble you make when you try to go down up a mountain. Unless it's like a really lame mountain, I guess. You can go up many lame mountains without having to worry about the weather. This is an interesting level. What if there's a generator? Oh, I'm not dead. Cool. Well, it's just what you have. It's just the sort of disappointment you have to deal with when you're going to go mountain climbing. My brother climbed another big mountain recently, Mount Hood, which is near Portland. And he almost didn't quite make it up either. It just didn't work out. Oh, you know what? We should put Yoshi back. There we go. There you go. Double Yoshi time. Consider all the time I'm getting. There's a lot of time available. The green berries are really not used for much. Or apples. They look more like apples than berries to me. They're like the size of Yoshi's head. Can you really call something a berry when it's the size of, like, a person's head? I guess bananas are technically berries, and they can be roughly, in at least one dimension, the size of someone's head. Oh, what's up, Desert SMW? It's been a while. Like hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is indeed delicious. And that's all I haven't had in a while. I didn't even have much hot chocolate over the winter. Well, now they got like 200 more seconds. This level should be pretty easy, shouldn't it? Oh. Yoshi has seen better days. This looks better. I don't think he has a sprite for being a balloon. I'm getting, Special World flashbacks. I'm just gonna hang it up here, because I just don't want to come down yet. So he's a 2-thrower? Okay, cool. Important details. Count your baseballs. But don't count your footballs. Footballs are always dangerous. UFO she. Why is my point lambdas? It's not because I'm a huge fan of ancient Greek. I can tell you that right now. Oh, I'm dead. The reason why it's lambdas is because my nom de plume is somewhat related to the programming language scheme in which you use an awful lot of anonymous functions. And the anonymous function symbol is lambda. It's often used in an awful lot of computer science, but in Scheme, it's most explicitly used. You can actually use a lambda as that specific character. In like Python, you type the word lambda. In JavaScript, you type function. There's a few other like implication styles. Yeah, really? Oh. God. Why did I... There's something terrifying about it. Is the cloud edge non-solid because you tried to jump on the side and jump through it? I don't know. It depends upon, I think, the sprites, or the tile that's being used specifically, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little known fact that my the latter part of my name, the non-pat part, comes from the way you access part of a list in Scheme, and Lisp, and other such languages. Vanilla Cloud is only solid on top. Yes, that is true. Football. Please don't football me, bro. Can I go up the pipe? Nope. I feel so much better now that I have a normal. No, never mind. Back to this. I'm just bad at friggin' pea balloons. Buffy Yoshi, why? Well, you know, sometimes when people make sprite sets for these things, they don't anticipate all the things you might try to do with it. And this Yoshi, I guess, just doesn't have a very good balloon. Like, honestly, almost none of the sprite balloons I've ever seen look any good. The balloons are almost all terrifying. I think Demos actually looks the worst out of the entire set. Bye, Yoshi. Oh, come on. I like Demo. I think Demo is an adorable character, but in balloon form, she is terrifying. Let's try the other door. See where it takes us. Oh, it takes us to the exact same place. Sans Yoshi, sans power up. Yoshi is a football attracting magnet in his face. Yeah, I guess, like, I think Boone looks okay in balloon form, but Boone always looks weird anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, like, Demo doesn't look good. Like, really, even Mario looks kind of terrifying, let's be honest. Yeah, I can't really left-right with this. Even if I want to. Advantage over the old controller. Okay, I'm gonna let that hopefully despawn. Now it's gonna come back and haunt me. Alright. Alright, I managed to avoid one set of baseballs. I'm hoping I can pick that up on the other side. No. You know, I was enjoying this level to the point, like, until I got to the balloon part. Definitely, what is it, tubular, I think? Definitely interpreting some tubular vibes here. I could see that, like, this is where the inspiration came from, but, you know, it's one of those thanks, I hate it sort of situations. Like, does anybody actually like tubular? Like, I don't think anyone likes playing tubular. Maybe if you do, I don't know, I don't think I want to be your friend or something. Like, even in the jump games and other such hacks, I've never enjoyed the balloon sections. They're just always kind of an extra awkward thing. Straight up cruel. Your experience mirrors mine, yep. It's just one of those things where it's a mechanic in the game, and it just probably shouldn't be. It looks far better in Mario Maker 2, which is to say they stole Super Fart World's mechanic. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm pretty sure someone at Nintendo said, we can totally steal this and no one is going to complain. Like, having actual, like, directional, rotational control is definitely better than this. Okay. Barely made it. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. No! Oh, I'm fucked. Well... Okay, first scroll... Yeah, I'm fucked. Was kind of hoping with some creative spin jumping, and no, even then, because I'm right on top of the ceiling, that's not going to work. Stuff about this level you want to say, but probably shouldn't. I would prefer to... Yeah, please do not. I'm definitely curious to read your judging notes after the fact, as I will with all of the other judges. Because it was actually pretty fun to read what other people thought, and there's definitely going to be some deltas in how levels are scored. And I still think I'm probably scoring mine a little bit more lenient than others by looking at some preliminary numbers. Unlucky. But that's simply how it goes. I'll probably do some like renormalization at some point to make sure the numbers make sense. I know some math. I can do some some math. You've read a paper stating that this level gives cancer. Very scientific. According to Scientific Proof magazine, this level is somewhat painful to play. This is the first piece of news saying this level cost a new war in the Middle East. There are so many things I could say to that, but I'm not going to. Gonna head to bed shortly. Yeah, fair enough. It is pretty late. This is probably going to be a shorter stream. I need to get some stuff done for tomorrow. Got a decent PR out today, which I'm pretty happy about, and finished up a long, annoying task that finally came to fruition. I'm pretty happy with how today went, all things considered. And then I did the dishes. I might have been on earlier, but you know, then I did the dishes. Because sometimes you just need to do the dishes. Oh, come on, stupid footballs. Not that being big is helping me much here. It's like I need to like fall off this. Go up a little bit, down a little bit, hit the balloon. Ah! It's 11 a.m. at your place? Oh my. 11 a.m. I think you told me this before, but I gotta reason this out. That's about 10 hours, well, that's 10 hours ahead of me. So that's probably like Western, no wait. 10 hours, it's 8 to UK, so you're probably in like Germany. Or that stripe would be my guess. Alright, see you later, nope. I just enjoy thinking about time zones. So I think it's 8 to the UK right now. And by UK, I mean, like, you know, London straight up. Strange how, like, I've gotten pretty used to that weird-looking Yoshi balloon. Like, if he was in the Macy's Day Parade now, I really wouldn't be that surprised about it. Or Macy's, oh crap, Thanksgiving parade. Time zones are weird, because really it's only like a vertical or horizontal strip of a thing that's also vertical. Like, Australia can be at weird times. I once worked with a guy from New Zealand, and we had to move the meetings around a little bit because he could be anywhere from 3 hours to 5 hours off from our current time, depending upon the Pacific Standard Time, depending upon the time of year. Because like if we start DST and then they start DST, and yeah, this is just a weird mess. That friggin' football. I still think the time zone that amuses me the most is probably like standard Indian time, because they just decided, fuck it, let's split the difference and have 30 minutes. Alright, furthest we've gotten forward here. Lots of projectiles. Really hope I don't die. Alright, well, got that at least. Yeah, it is kind of interesting because, like, again, it has an awful lot to do with when summer comes. And in New Zealand, summer comes in the opposite time of the year. So. Because they're upside down there. Sometimes you just need to die. Kind of a shame, like, this was a pretty normal romp before this. And there's also a secret exit. And a moon, I think, if I looked at the flags right. So there's an awful lot here that I'm gonna have to do. Gonna double check the flags next death, but I'm pretty sure that even the intro text said there is a secret exit. I can't not die. Down. Okay. I swear he actually skipped a phase there. Alright, we are not getting all the dragon coins in one go here, I can tell you that right now, because we're going through the store. Thank you for the good luck. And suddenly another change in tenor as we end up in a cloud level. Suddenly we've moved from irritating bullet hell to like just chill side-scroller. Nope. Nope. I'm pretty sure I saw 4 dragon coins so far, so if I see one more, I'm fine. I think that's a generator. Oh, lovely. Oh, okay, I'm fine. Generators aren't fun. I don't know why anyone even uses them. It's like, why not add random stuff to my level? Okay. I think I got this. Okay. Nope, I see it. And if I were him, what I would do... I guess there's no bonus over here. Huh. Alright. That's one of the exits. We found all the dragon coins. I'm pretty okay with that. We need to find the other exit. I wonder where it is. It's not Yoshi's Island 3, though. Maybe it was earlier on in this level and I just wasn't paying attention. Hello, cape. You know, I'm never gonna say no to a cape. Because, you know, you can just do so much with a cape, really. Change the color of the clouds? I think the clouds are still the same normal color, but I could be wrong. Also, this Yoshi is not used to flying. Okay, I guess we'll try, like, random pipes just to make sure that there's something. Should not have tried re-grabbing there. Okay. It's so weird seeing people use, like, the switch blocks in a given level. Alright, so this is clearly a generator. Another generator, I don't need to deal with that. And this was where I found that dragon coin. Aw. Guess there's a pipe here. Maybe if I have a cape I can fly into that? I might be overthinking this. It's quite the sight, yeah. Not all of the sprites work perfectly. Still kind of fun, but they don't all work right. Alright. So let's get us a quick and easy cape. And if I can't find the exit within a few minutes, or I can't find like an indication of the exit in a few minutes, I'll probably just bail and we'll throw that in the odds and ends. Because so far most levels have made their second exit at least somewhat obvious. And this one has not. Though I guess there was the one last night that was pretty unobvious, and I spent a long time doing the wrong thing at. So, well, so much for that. I think it was that same, Oh, that doesn't work. Yeah, slopes never work quite right in Super Mario World. You have to do something special to make them work right. It's one of those things. Okay. What are slope quirks? So there's a few things that don't quite work right. You can clip through them sometimes. You can just like walk through a slope if it's not set up right. Also, another thing you can do is they'll kind of catch you at the top if you do it wrong. Like you run up a slope, and instead of running over it, you'll suddenly find yourself pushed a little bit to the left in a kind of unpleasant way. That's one of my moderation quirks, is I really hate that. That's not to say I'll throw a hack back just for having that, but I'll definitely point it out anytime I see it. Because it's just unpleasant when you're running through a level and suddenly you, like, clip on a slope. Just had to prove it to myself that I could do that one again. There's an easy way to fix that, and there's also like a patch that fixes that, or a custom block that fixes that. I really don't remember, but there's options to fix it if you're worried about it and you're given hack. I can't claim to know everything that's available on SMW Central, because, oh dear god, there's an awful lot of things available on SMW Central, including like, what, 3,000 custom music tracks or something like that? It's an egregious amount of music. This worked better. Okay. This worked better up to a point. Got it, the amount of music is to the stars and counting. Yeah, I do not envy the music moderators. They have a hard job just because there's so much of it. I'm not gonna say all of it's great, you know, got some like unsampled stuff, and then you've got like utterly amazing tracks. Like there's one from Super Mario Galaxy that actually tricked a friend of mine. He thought it must have been MSU1. Like, it had to be MSU1. And I'm like, no, it's standard SMW. So, that was kind of entertaining. MSU1 being the ROM extension that allows you to play custom, like, MP3 quality music. Kind of like a Sega CD style thing. Okay, so let's try to go up the pipe. You know, sometimes I wonder about myself. But some of those ports are astounding, and some of them even sound, I think, a little bit better than their source material sometimes. The PAL Super Mario World, for instance, is a pretty banger, or Super Mario World Athletic is pretty banger. Just like the original, though with a little less meme to it. I'm trying to think of what else I could do other than that one pipe. What else is actually legitimately awesome? There's a port of a demo scene song, Siren, that's just kick-ass on SMW Central. I found myself listening to that for a non-trivial amount of time. I think I still even have that tab open. It's been open for like a year, because every once in a while I go back and listen to it again. That and the one from the Charlie Brown game, Snoopy Concert. I could take the spring with me. Would that get me anything? Yeah. You routinely listen to SMW musics on the bus? Nice. Yeah, they're good stuff. Like, if I felt more confident in some of the stuff I've built, I would consider just, like, opening the gates and letting anybody, like, play SMW Central music tracks. Though, turns out that, like, Twitch, whatever their music identification services, it actually identifies even SMW ported stuff sometimes. I had a VOD get muted. This was probably like last year, because Mr. Mighty Mouse had made a version of Akogare World, or Akogare Mario, that had a port of the NES DuckTales Amazon level music. And somehow, that port actually set off the copyright detection on Twitch. I was utterly baffled. I was like, that's like 3 steps removed from the original game. And even the original game didn't set off muting last time I played it on Twitch. Like, I had beaten DuckTales like a few weeks ago when that had happened. And I was just baffled. Utterly baffled that Comcast even cared, or Capcom even cared. Comcast cares, in the sense that they want your money and, you know, don't really care for DuckTales, but you know. I'm just gonna try pipes. That's like my only idea at this point, is try random pipes, and if any of them let me in, then that's okay. Or maybe there's another... I guess the cloud area was pretty wide. Maybe I could go higher up. Nope, it's not actually wide. Neutral the cloud. Double check the pipe. Yeah, I don't know what the secret exit is in this level. Like, quite literally, that one pipe by Cape is the only thing I can think of, and I guess we'll try that after this. I guess there's a couple pipes here I don't think I tried. Nope, not that one. We'll just hang out down here. I feel like all the other stuff's gonna spawn way higher. Feel free to chime in if you have a good idea about where the secret exit could be, because I'm actually legitimately baffled. I thought it might be past the pipe, but it is not, or past the bull tape, but it is not. Yoshi sets off for an adventure in his pipe. Pipe, cloud. I just want to use the word pipe for everything. It's like I'm Archie from Pete and Pete. Copyright claim on Twitch? Yeah, it sucks. It's not bad. There's no like actual repercussion beyond muting my VODs, and I don't care about that much anymore. One of your friends plays music from YouTube on Twitch and yet didn't have a claim. I mean, it's possible. Again, it's all sort of probabilistic. Sometimes you get like legit claims, like, oh yeah, it's a tune you used, it's a thing we own. Like, I got no problem with that. But like, when it's game music, and especially like ported game music, it just seems kind of silly. But again, at least they're not like actual copy strikes or anything, so it's like not the end of the world. Just mildly annoying. No, nothing up here. I guess another option I have, if I wanted to, would be to go get the Yoshi, and then I could leave the level, and then I could fly with Yoshi, and that would give me some ability to see stuff. Like, I still feel like there might be something here. Either way, we're gonna kill as many things as we can just to make my life a little bit easier. Go, that's a number of things killed. And I just need to get a little bit lucky here. Or very lucky. As the case may be. I get the feeling like there's one pipe I didn't check, and oh, if that wasn't a yellow Koopa, that would have been terrible. And I get to the midway, okay. You know what, even if I get to the midway, this is fine. I can get this. I can get the Yoshi, if I want the Yoshi, but I don't want the Yoshi, so it's probably okay. Oh, come on. So close, yet so far away. Okay. We will, I can't find it soon, I'm just gonna move along. I don't have that much time. And I can always ask one of my compatriots. That's probably where the moon was. That's not even... I mean, I feel like... I feel like, bruh, that's an accurate statement. So, I could get up there with a Yoshi. Let's see. Can I get flight off this? Yes. Does it matter? No. I need, like, maximal height to get that. I think I've got time. Time is, like, the one thing that's on my side. Trying to think, if I did spin fly, it's too far to spin fly from here. No! I flew slightly too well there. Okay. Fly up here. What about the yellow pipe next to checkpoint? Yeah, it just leads to the balloon part. So the green pipe here leads to the Yoshi part, that leads to the balloon part, and the yellow part leads directly to the balloon part. That's a cool Kaizo trick, but doesn't actually help me in this situation. Because you maintain your flight state when you get onto a vine. I believe it's used in more than one Kaizo game. There's nothing on that. Okay. And if I can't go up the purple pipe here, then I have no idea, and I'm not aiming very well for it. Okay, one more try. Okay, so it's at the far edge of this. That's my heuristic. I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't... like the Goomba. I don't like the Goomba is the end of that sentence. I really don't know. Yeah, definitely not exit enabled. I really don't know. Let's check out the other bits of this. OSLDC or OLDC. Hello, pretty standard Yoshi, okay. And then we'll see what this other level is. Hey! Brother! There's endless... Wait. Endless road to... What? Rediscover, I guess? Hey, sister. This is probably a quote that for something I don't know what it is. Alright, well that was something. From a song? It does not surprise me. That is from a song. I just don't know the song. It sounds poetic. Alright, I'm gonna write some words. These are preliminary words. I'm gonna have to come back to this because I found neither the moon nor the exit. I'm pretty sure at this point I'm gonna have an odds and ends stream at the very end of this where I, like, actually open Lunar Magic. Oh, Hey Brother by Avicii. Huh. I've probably heard it, but I wouldn't know it by name. Check it out, or don't. You grew to hate it because it was repeated all the time in the shoe shop you worked for. Well, I like other bits of his work. I'm a big fan of... It's All Over, When I'm Wiser and I'm Older, and yeah. There's a really good Russian version of that song, actually. Or Wake Me Up, that's the name of the track. Wake Me Up. There's a really good version by Rushka Jaja, or something like that they play on the accordion, and it works amazingly. It's a German band that sings Russian songs. It shouldn't work, but it does. Just like Blumchan. She was a British woman who sang songs in German. Shouldn't have worked, but it did. Oh, duh. Now you recognize it's sung in a syllable silent. Fair enough. Sup, Raichu Knight? How you doing? Or Raichu Knight. Alright, that's as good as that one's going to get because I didn't find the secret exit. Or the moon. I definitely have a few go find the moon messages in my judging notes. Alright, on to 61. Hoping to get at least somewhere in the vicinity of 8 of these done. We'll see how it goes. Onward to the dank pit. Alright. That's different. The dank pit, made with lunar magic, 1.51. No illegal substances were used in the making of this level. That is good to know. But of course, weed is legal in this state, so it's probably okay. Wonder why they chose 151. What? I see how this is going to be played. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like I'm in for a ride. This is a classic, like, thing to do. Show you that you could possibly get a thing and then demonstrate how you can't. So, that was probably the time to go. Small jump, small jump. Oh god, I'm bad at this. Ninjas are not my favorite of sprites, but at least I know that... Okay, so he's about to do a brave jump. Small jump, small jump. Medium jump. Big jump. Hold B to get the one up. This is definitely weird. I'm going to assume this is a very version-specific bug for Lunar Magic. I didn't see that coming. Okay. There's nothing I like more than waiting at the beginning of a level before I even get to do anything. Alright. So what we've learned here is we should really run to the right before anything bad happens to me. There's no bouncing either. That's a thing. No. Oh, you... You know what? No. I'm keeping my big. Nope. There's a whole area over here dedicated to making me get hit, and I'm not doing it. I can do this. I have the cheese. I see what your plan for this level was, and I say no, I am not willing to adhere to your convention. Believe in the Force, Luke. I got the brute force here, I don't need the regular force. Ow. And things were going so well, too. Yeah, alright, fine. I'll take 2 hits here. And wait for the stupid ninja. It'll be cool right now. A midway. You know what I'm not expecting to see? A midway. Okay. What? Alright, well, that's a thing that happened. Just not gonna let you have it. Oh, cool, a midway. I really should try and play the level conventionally, but I'm not doing it. I got this. I cannot be stopped. You know, in retrospect, maybe I should have been stopped. I got this. Alright, there we go. Oh! I was doing so well. Now, I would say this is most distinctly not dank. Like, there could have been marijuana jokes, or something. But no, this is just a really weird, glitchy level. Really weird. I kind of want to see what's over here. Oh. So, I was doing the right thing is what I just learned. I like this level less now. Here, I thought I was getting one over on it, and nope, this is just how you're supposed to play the level. I am somewhat disappointed. There's sort of a, like, fun factor in cheesing a level. But learning this is what I'm supposed to do, can I turn around? Nope, it always pushes me to the left. Makes me like this level slightly less. It's gonna bounce. There we go. Let me guess. Death? Yep. Oh, you're supposed to get hit there. Alright, fine. I'm not doing it. You've already made me come this far. I'm gonna keep my power up. It's actually kind of hurting my fingers. Alright. I'm gonna stay ducking for a second. Beverage break. Okay. Ah. Oh. That wasn't one of my smarter moves. I think that maybe that part might not have been possible, given the constraint I was given. It would have been cool, but I'm ultimately okay with not having successfully completed it. No! What? Maybe if you're big, you can jump through that? Huh. Call an ambulance. Huh. Alright, well I think I'm gonna play the level the way it wants to be played, at least for this next part, because my fingers are starting to hurt. Alright, theory crafting time. Can I just... Yeah. Okay, so... Ultimately, that wasn't a good plan. But I wanted to see if I could do it. Not certain it has to... Well, I don't think they, like, thought it out, but I think it's a consequence of something else. Maybe it has something to do with the tide, or maybe they did think that out. It's like, oh yeah, if they try to drop through here, we're gonna make sure they don't. That was my plan. We can actually see what that looks like after I beat this once. Because, oh crap. I have the code for that. The problem, of course, being is that the black goo is gonna kill y'all. Kill me every time, which is not going to be conducive to seeing cool stuff. That's what my kill command does, actually. It removes all non-sprite collisions. I guess, actually, that would probably remove the collision with the black goo, so yeah, that would probably work. Very handy command for when I get soft-locked when moderating things. Happens more often than you might think. Remember when I didn't have that command, when I actually got pretty annoyed because there was a custom boss this dude made that got me soft-locked after beating a long level, and I'm like, I just don't want to beat the level again. Alright, here we go. Back to where we were. So our goal here is twofold. Not die. Grab this. Not die. Slowly hop back to this thing. Not die. Slowly and painfully. I'm being a little bit too worried about that extra hammer. I think I'm safe here. But I think I'm safe on the block. Yeah, I'm safe on the block. Wait, what? Well, what was I supposed to do then? Ow. The division between cheese and what I'm supposed to do now is less clear than it was a few minutes ago. I am very tempted to clip all the way down now. We're not doing that. We're gonna beat this legit. There we go. Wait. Go. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Like, clearly reading the intent here, you have to do this. There is not another option. You have to get hit there. Oh, crap. Alright, so let's consider our options. I can't hit him. I can't jump up. I can't, if I get pushed up, do anything to combat the direction I'm getting thrown. Facing the other direction does not help. I just can't even jump when I'm on that. Like, I thought that if I was big and got on the rope, it would solve my problems, but, like, that's not what happened. Huh. Unlike Mario Maker, you can't hold up to get inside of a door when you need to get inside of a door. I wonder if this is, like, some sort of console difference. Flip it again. I'm tempted. We'll do that when we get to the second half. Get down further. I wonder if we can actually do something cheesy there. Because, like, if we do it here, like, we could just get stuck down here, and that's not cool. Mario stands on nothing but thin air. Alright. Nope. Apparently there's just a death plane there that does not like you if you do that. Somebody understands a very important glitch, a very interesting glitch here. If I had to make a guess about who made this level, it is someone who definitely... Oh, clip it again. I guess I could do that. I could try clipping through on the floor there. At that point, because I'll be big. Maybe that's what they're trying to tell me to do. I thought maybe the rope was informing me to go somewhere, but no, we'll just clip to the floor when we get to the other one. It is not the worst of ideas. Ah, crap. Can't be too slow. Okay. One beverage down. I would be very curious to see if this is the actual... I mean, it has to be the intended solution, because, like, you are going to get hit by the corn deli. The fuzzy. But that's clearly the intended solution. Oop. And down. Okay. If it looks stupid and it works, it's not stupid. You're right. That is a truism. It is definitely true. Dang it. One of the downsides of my implementation is I don't get to see what's below. Like, clearly that's not what's supposed to happen. Oh, that doesn't work. Being left doesn't help. Kind of hoping that it might be enlightening if I did something there, but no, it was not. I'm still wondering if there's something this level is supposed to be teaching me that I just haven't grokked yet. Which it wouldn't surprise me. There certainly are things I'm not aware of in this game. But yeah, that was just death. Because I didn't want to jump a whole lot. I continue to slide to the left after being on top of that. Even though standing on top of it, I didn't do that before. But if I'm on top of this thing... push through and walk a... No? Yeah, no, actually, after being pushed, that changes my state. That is interesting. That is something that is worth paying attention to. So maybe the right answer is I need to try and fall on the rope, even though there's, like, no indication that I can do that. Because standing on the rope kind of still works. But if you get pushed onto the rope, it pushes you to the left forever. As far as I can tell. Or maybe there's like a jump I can do here that would make it so that doesn't happen. Like, that's clearly what this is set up for, is to try and teach me something. What? What? Oh, you're kidding me. No, there's something that happened there that I don't fully understand, but I think it was the important thing to learn. Okay, so if I'm big and then I, like, let go of up, I might end up being able to not be stuck on the rope? Big shrug. And of course, you cannot duck under things. This is not Mario Maker. Alright. Let's try and learn that lesson one more time. So duck here. Yeah, no, I think that's the thing I was missing. I was trying to do duck jumping, and if I had just, like, let it happen, it would have worked. That's what it was trying to teach me, and I avoided that lesson by being far too stubborn. I still kind of want to avoid this lesson by being far too stubborn. But yeah, look, works fine. Now I know. Now I know. Huh. If only I had paid attention to the lesson it was trying to teach me earlier, I could have saved a whole, like, 8 minutes of effort. Okay. Alright. Now that we know the secret... Ow! Knowing the secret does not prevent you from being hit by hammers, of course. Alright. Mistakes were made. That reminds me, I really want to make sure that the death stuff is in the right places at some point in the near future. Things I am looking forward to using in the near future, an OBS that lets me undo movement and translations and all that other stuff. Or transformations. I still have not upgraded to the new fancy OBS, which has those nice features. Due to sheer laziness. And not wanting to spend time backing up my current scenes, just in case it doesn't work. I have like 1 million of them, and I don't really need all of them. An awful lot of them are actually involving capture devices I don't use very often. I've got 3 of them plugged into this dang thing right now. So I probably could afford to unplug, at least remove a few scenes that are using one of the older ones. There we go. Alright. Now we wait. Go! Alright. No! Oh, you have to be big the whole time. That hammer was the only way to fuck that up. Alright. Well, we learned another important lesson. It's also impressive how little stuff there is in this level. Because I have 9,000 points and 9 lives. Nope. I was just realizing. This has many of the bad parts of an auto-scroller. Alright, there we go. Not sure that's faster than just jumping, but whatever. It's more reasonable. There we go. I actually don't think holding B is making much of a difference in terms of my fall speed. Ah, too late. Should've turned back. I have to say, I do not like the amount of precision required in the second half. I have to say, I don't appreciate the amount of precision required to get into that door. Jokes aside. There we go. Okay. There's always one. Of course, people watching have a better notion of how long... Oh, this is not a level made by a sane person. I missed that line. I don't know. There's always some people out there who come up with interesting ideas, and you just don't expect them. And also, sup, Basalt Man. How you doing? I recognize after like 10 minutes of looking at nothing. I think I'm a little off cycle from where I wanted to be. Somehow. That's as good as it's gonna get. Like, this is someone who's been in the scene a while and knows this kind of bug existed in Lunar Magic and decided this is the level they wanted to make, based entirely upon this kind of bug. So I predict someone who's got a little bit of seniority. I'm not going to say any guesses because my guesses are bad, but definitely think it's somebody who has been around the horn a few times. Alright. This is not their first goat rodeo. Don't care for how close that is. Okay, stand over here. Over here. Oh, forget that I can't choose my movement speed. That's the worst part, is I don't have a choice about my movement speed after that. At least I did figure out the trick. You know, after the level, like, instructed me about it. Oh, Mimi time! Oh, crap. Oh yeah, I guess they, let me fix something really quick. There we go, that's better. I had rejiggered things a little bit wrong. Okay, here we go. We'll be seeing a lot of this sprite. Yep, I can load my own player sheets. Anything that's pretty much available on SMW Central, I've got most of them rigged up and a couple others. Faro sent over a few original designs, including, but not limited to, feet Rayman and white. I think Rayman is probably my favorite of the set that Furrow's made, because it's Mario without a torso. It actually looks pretty good. And isn't bad to play as. Feet, not so much. Feet is a little unpleasant to play as. It's surprisingly difficult to reason about where your character is when all you can see is the feet. But the feet actually serve a meaningful purpose. Or will at some point again. I get off my ass and work on my other, like, randomizer project. Okay. Alright, I think what I want to do is come over here and get hit, and then don't miss the door. Alright, cool. That was a level. Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. That took a little while to implement, especially given this is using an SD to SNES, and I'm using the USB stuff for that. It behaves differently than you would have. It works a lot differently than you would have to implement it if it was on an emulator. Emulators make things easy sometimes. Thanks for the GGs. I'm going to type some words now. There was a moon. I wonder if any of those... Well, I did see a moon in the first section that actually might have been gettable if had I realized the trick. Was I able to be big there? I don't know if I was. I'll put that on the list. We'll say moon question mark as my note. But that was a pretty cool level. I liked that level. Alright, 61 down. We start on 58, so we've done like 5 now. Wait, no, that was like 3. Feels like it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 4 down. Also, this event. Yeah, that event was a little bad, but we're not like judging anything but the level itself. So having a bad event is not the end of the world. Oh, I kind of like the new screen here. It's nifty. Really wish it had new text, but I can't complain. Alright, Fortresses. Oh, hello. Alright. So there were 2 mistakes made there. Don't spin jump on him, and don't try to stand on the platform that the pencil is sticking through. Also sneaky. Very sneaky. Alright. Oh yeah, I should reload Mimi. I'll do that once I'm on dry land. Ow. Indeed, it is definitely something different. There, we'll put Mimi back. I probably should make the character persistent and just see about reviving that code, because I know I have some code to do that. At least for a little while. Oh crap. But at least I can fix it by hand for the time being. Definitely suddenly feel like I should be doing some more Kaizo-y type things. Like, it would not surprise me if the person who made this level is a... Oh, that was way too early. A big Kaizo fan. Coolio. When I hear Coolio, I just think of... well, I think of Amish Paradise, to be honest. I was not a big rap fan in the 90s, when Coolio was still involved and all that. Just because that was the one Weird Al song that was parodied by, that the original song was by Coolio. It was Gangsta's Paradise and then became Amish Paradise, which I still think is a pretty dang funny song. There we go. Oh, pencil timing. Okay. Yeah, Weird Al's pretty cool. I've seen him in concert, I want to say about 3 times now. Probably would have seen him in concert last year had there been a concert to see him at in town. Got to see both his, like, ill-advised, self-indulgent tour and the No Strings Attached tour, and then just, like, a normal one. I forget what that one was. Saw it at a zoo. It was pretty cool. Oh, come on. I clipped into that. But for the last one, the No Strings Attached, while he was doing tacky, he kind of walks through the aisles, and in this case, actually out of the auditorium. He walked out of the concert hall, and they had some people filming him so you could see where he's going and whatnot. So it was kind of a cute little gimmick. And then on his way back, he got, like, right in my face. And I can tell you, Weird Al does not smell bad. He was that close to me. I was very surprised by this fact. Given that, you know, he was up there performing for the better part of, like, an hour before this moment. There we go. Alright. You know, I didn't check flags on this. Unsafe, okay. There's a secret exit. I suspect that is the secret exit. So we'll go there first. Alright, well that was an exit. Yeah, the secret exit, that sure was there. I kind of wish there was more to say about it. This might... Oh, okay, good. It didn't eat all the trees. I guess we're going here. To Vanilla Secret 2. No, we're not going to Vanilla Secret 2. That's one of the things I find strangest about this contest, is the amount of effort people put into their overworlds sometimes. When, like, we're not judging them based upon their overworlds. But maybe some people just like making cool overworlds, I don't know. I guess there's a whole, like, contest about that now, going on for at least a little bit longer, isn't there? I think it might be winding down soon, so if you want to make a cool overworld and get it in a contest, you might want to, get out on that sooner than later. instead of an overworld for a contest where the overworld most distinctly does not matter. Force Evolution maps reveal path reveals are slower, aren't they? Just looks weird. You know, I'd never thought to check to see if they did that. I just assumed there was an awful lot more path than average to reveal for the Forest of Illusion. Alright, looks like we're in a vertical level. Vertical levels are kind of cool. Wait, there were no coins. No exit. Not that. There was an exit, no coins. Okay. I don't want that. I have better equipment than that. Pretty sure the intended solution was to jump on the mace, but I just wanted to buck the trend. There we go. It feels kind of good to have a level that I can be competent at every once in a while. Okay. Ooh, midway! Alright! Ooh, and a message box. It's probably faster to grab the first block immediately, but it might be easier to skip it in the beginning. Intriguing message. Oh. I see the problem. Is that shroom priority problem really a bug? You'd say it's an oversight. I don't think it's a bug or an oversight. I think it's just what it does. Like, it's not really a big problem. It's more or less just, like, a thing that you can do. I appreciate it when, like, hacks get rid of it. But I, you know, don't think it's, like, a thing that needs to be fixed. I think I'm screwed. Please? Path that fixes marks as a bug fix. Alright. Like, I know some people generally apply this. I want to say Gamma V generally applies that as a thing in her hacks, and I like Radish Kingdom had it, and a few others. Crap. You know, I was liking this level a whole lot more before I ran into this boss fight. The big problem is, like, jumping on things while you're holding blocks sucks. See? Well, that wasn't actually jumping on looking at the instant replay, that was jumping through, which was even worse. Yeah, that one's on me. I'm not even going to begin to try and... No Johns, all I'm saying. Let go of Y. Well, at least maybe I can avoid dying. There's at least one extra block. Maybe. That's going to be tricky to get to. I don't foresee myself using that block to kill this boo. Like, I can get that block pretty easily, I think. But... yeah, perishable item jumps are jank. It's completely true. Because, like, the game generally gives you a little more slop, and again, that one was terrible. Like, that one was on me. But I can see why the advice was given. Like, it might be easier if you do this. Okay, that one. I'm gonna watch instant replay. Yeah, that one was clearly jank. I really liked this level before this boss. I think this boss is actually making me like this level a whole lot less. Like, it's hard to make a good boo boss that's unique and interesting. And the problem, of course, being that the space has been pretty well explored at this point. Fuck. Yeah, I can't tell if that was me or jank. The instant replay. But if I can get 2 hits, I can get a 3rd one. I'm pretty confident in that. You know, what I should do is throw the block. That's the Kaizo solution. Just throw the block early. If I throw the block early, I won't have to make the jump with the block. Maybe I'll hit the boo, or maybe it'll land on the upper platform. Okay, I need to throw it while I'm going for the bullet bill as opposed to before. Now that's a bug fix I would like to see. One that makes jumping with an item more consistent, or jumping on things with an item more consistent. Item bounces, yeah. Gotta say, that was a pretty cool frame it froze on. One of the things I really don't like about YouTube is, like, it takes almost all of the random pictures, your thumbnails, from, like, the first really short bit of the, oh, for fuck's sake. Really early on in the video. And oftentimes there's not nearly as much interesting stuff going on in the video. So I'm thinking about trying to make my own thumbnail producer. I'm not sure about it yet. My general theory is any place where I die an awful lot in close proximity is probably a more interesting thumbnail, but may not be true. But I have the power. I can figure out where my death density is highest in any given level, or any given hack, and then any given level, so. The power of good logs. Kind of amazed, that was just bad. Alright. The worst part, any cheating I could enable here doesn't actually help me, because it's just a silly boss. Alright. Okay, thinking about this harder. Do I really want that first block? I feel like the first block is just unreliable. Alright, I'm gonna try it without grabbing the first block first. At least didn't break. And I'm dead. Okay, I think in the event that I did do it that way, I'm trying to think, like, what different routing could I take to try and make this more consistent? Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Throw blocks have unreliable behavior altogether. Sometimes you can't use them the way you intend to because of jank. Yep. They are just sort of a weird, almost afterthought in some ways. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm still trying to think if there's a better routing. Like, I really feel like throwing this one last would probably be easier, depending upon how fast the scrolling is. But also somewhat dependent on making this work. This might work. Well, I'm fucked. Or am I? Okay, if the boo... Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me! Yes! Okay. Yeah, apparently the key was just, doing it all wrong and winging it. That was the plan, all along. Okay. And where does this other leg take us? Playtester. Let's see who playtested this. Thanks a lot to Lunatic 002 and Hentai Cayman. Okay, great. That's a name I wanted to read today. All right, words, words, words. Hentai Cayman for real. I mean, it's combining two Japanese words. I mean, Cayman Rider is a big thing. Hentai is a big thing. I mean, come on, it's just how it has to be. I'm not familiar with either of those two people. I assume they're pretty good playtesters or good friends of whomever made this. So, given how I do playtesting when I have to do things, I usually drag a friend or two to have to do this. This character exists. Oh my. Look it up if... Well, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Oh, that's an actual thing. I see. Huh. Japan, why? Just why, Japan? Japan, am I right? Indeed. It's an interesting place. One should not take all of their impressions about Japan from its media. Japan is a place where people largely just get up, go to work, and go home and sleep and do it all over again. Like any other place in the world. It's just they have really fast trains and some strange culture beyond that sometimes. I'm an American. I can't say we're a whole lot different except for the part where we don't have fast trains. Number platforms or carrot platforms? I think number platforms is what we do, is the term. It happened? Someone found a MIDI you were searching for? Oh, you gotta say something more here. I love hearing about a good MIDI. Because it's been well, the only MIDI I've listened to in a long time is Canyon.mid because Windows 98 has it, but yeah. I used to like MIDIs. I still kind of do, but I used to too. Looking for a MIDI of a specific song from Wise Origin so that you can get it ported. Oh, nice. Thank you for the GG. I'm kind of surprised. I expect like the Wise games to be pretty old at this point, so I'd expect there to be an awful lot of MIDI music, but I could be wrong on that front. That song being Water Prison. Water Prison would fit perfectly into a level in null space, like perfectly. So it's a water prison that you're going to use the MIDI or the MIDI version of Water Prison from Wise for. Okay, I could see it. So doing your own MIDI sequences to recreate songs, but hot Jesus, is it hard? You know, that's the thing I always kind of took for granted. Like back in the day, that people would just make MIDIs for like everything. You could find a MIDI for almost any popular song, and of course it was convenient because MIDIs were a couple kilobytes as opposed to, I don't know, MP3s being about a megabyte a minute. But I always kind of took it for granted. Making one that's strikingly accurate is already art, not to mention porting to... Yeah, that's the even harder part. You want to make a Flooded Ruins levels, which is mostly what the Water Prison song plays in Wise Origins. Okay, that's pretty nifty. One of those games I just don't, or game series I just don't know much about. Anyway, it's time for number 63, which comes after, or right before 64. And I think with this, I am at the halfway point. If we manage to beat this level, which we should, take a listen to the OG song. All right, I will put that in my list of tabs, since there's nothing to say about. That's not Alcatraz? No, that doesn't help. Anyway. I have a tab now. We'll try to figure it out. Coasting Redwoods. Speaking of Alcatraz, vaguely near Redwoods. I get the feeling something strange is going to happen. No, I guess not. The way this is set up, it reminds me a bit of that one level in DKC3, the one with the saw. That is like eating the tree as you go up it. Made it. Oh yeah, there's coins. Well, I don't think I could have made it big, and I'm kind of a... Or I could have just gone around, yeah. The theme of today's stream is try to be smarter, Pat. Given how badly, given how fixated I got on a specific solution to something yesterday. Alright, I will put that in. So I will listen to that, after I'm done. Okay, cool, that is much more effective as a search thing. Here, porting an existing MIDI into SMW is an effort with added value, but sometimes you doubt it. You feel like a mere copycat when you just take the MIDI and turn it into MML. I could see that. It's one of those areas I just don't know that much about, is music stuff. I felt consistently stupid whenever Chuck Quizmo, or whatever his name is, gave me add music questions, because I'm like, I don't know this. I was really disappointed. I was expecting at least one assembly question. I never got a single one. And it's one of the class of non-Mario trivia questions from the for that particular C3 that I could have answered. I know a little bit of assembly at least. Or enough to get by. That's what I get for trying to hit it with a fire flower. Alright. That's not how you do it. I'm taking you with me. I got a plan. Wait, that plan's not going to work. Oh, that plan sure didn't work. Okay. In retrospect, this is entirely my fault. You like to think this level is like you are climbing inside one of those big redwood trees. I think that was sort of the intent. Like, it would not surprise me if they were at least a little inspired by DKC3, but it definitely has that feeling. Like, I'm climbing inside a big tree. And I definitely dig it. It's a good idea. Where did the hopping flame come from? I think it just came from a little bit further to the left. I don't think it's a particularly large mystery. Yeah. I'm learning. There we go. Yeah, it just sort of hopped off from a higher platform, I think. Or it spawned in, like, midair or something, so it didn't have the property of leaving a flame right there. Sometimes I wonder. I really wonder. Almost makes me want to play some DKC3. But then I remember I hate DKC3, and so I won't. Look, I want to, like, do a playthrough of as much DKC as I can actually do in a day. Like, try the Returns and Tropical Freeze. I've heard Tropical Freeze is really good, but Returns I don't know so much about. But I got a copy of it, so... Should at least be worth a shot. Yeah, I'm still gonna go with spawns in midair. Yeah, 2 hits, and he dies. In retrospect, this was not one of my better plans. Okay. This part might be kind of hard if I don't manage to bring a power-up. I think you actually might need to keep your power-up through that whole section. Because think about it, like, you have to get past a disco shell that's humping the right wall, and those things don't have a very long period. There we go. Like, I'm getting most of the stuff I think I need to get consistent here. No, he spawns up here. I guess he just doesn't occasionally he doesn't leave a flame for some reason. Okay. Nuts. Definitely need a more useful sort of wiggle mechanism. Just gonna wait for him to revive, because I have a theory about how to do this part, which may or may not work. Yeah, it worked. Don't know if I can make that consistent, but it sure worked. Okay. Yeah, my plan was to get hit by both of them, thereby canceling it out. Come on, not another disco shell. I knew it. I friggin' knew it. Alright, well, at least I come up with a way to get past that one part without needing any power-up to power through the disco shell. Yep, don't need power-ups at all. Should be fine. Disco shells are very versatile, I find, actually. Like, you can ride them, you can make people, like, try and solve puzzles with them. They're a lot of fun, if used the right way. The infamous one-tile high beam strikes again. Genuinely, though, you're so happy a friend of yours located the MIDI. Genuinely could not find one you were searching like 6 hours a day? 6 hours one day? Damn. I kind of wonder if it's one of those things where it might have been easier to find if you were like using... If you were looking on like GeoCities, like old archives of GeoCities, Because I remember like every single web page back in the day. Not every single one, but an awful lot of them just had like mirrors of MIDIs that other people had made. And of course would play them randomly. Because that was simply the style at the time. Something I'm not sad that's gone is web pages playing MIDIs at me. I am very okay with the fact that that is no longer a thing. Of course, now they autoplay music at you, so I don't know if that's a huge... Or autoplay videos at you, so that's probably not a huge improvement. That works. At least MIDI's kind of got their own thing. There's a certain aesthetic in this, like... Alright. Oh, you can do that part without dying. That's pretty cool. Okay. As long as it lets me spring up there, that's all that matters. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, why? Nope. It is indeed rather tight. What's up, TJB? Fuck Xfinity, you guess. Have 877 megabits per second down, but 3.1 up. That doesn't sound right. Like, I'm pretty sure at some point, like, you need to have more up so you can get more down. But still, that's impressive to me. I want to say I'm somewhere in, like, the 200 range, but I definitely have a lot more up. Wait. Yeah, that wasn't smart. Hopefully you can resolve that particular issue. You can't stream at 1 megabit. That is true. You can do all the Netflixing and, I don't know, what's the thing that Comcast is constantly shilling, like video on demanding. But no, you can't stream on that. I mean, like, I guess if you lowered your bitrate enough and shrunk the, like, actual size of your stream to an extreme degree, you probably could stream at 1 megabit. I guess you could do audio only. That's something you can actually do on that level of, No, it's a terrible idea. One sec. Sorry, I had a bit of a coughing fit. That's what I get for, like, talking forever without actually, like, breathing. Huh. I think I might need to take a short break after this life to reclaim my voice, because it appears to be going for a sec, and that's a thing that happens sometimes. Streamed at like 1.4 up. That still sounds like not very much. As with many things, you can do it, but should you? The answer is probably no. You shouldn't. $450 bit rate. Oh my. Yeah, that's like literally nothing. Alright, I'm gonna get up and grab another beverage. I will be right back. Oh, okay. That's less than twice your audio bitrate alone. Yeah. I remember trying to run a Shoutcast server off of an awful lot less up than that a million years ago, when Shoutcast was still a thing. He was using Icecast. I think that was like the open source version or something. Okay, go back, go up. My disco shill ability is not shining through here. Alright. That was completely bullshit luck. I did not time that at all. Alright. In retrospect, you still think you have your Icecast server just from not ever bothering to disable it? Oh my. I mean, I'm certain mine's long disabled. I think that computer was, I imagine it's gone to PC Recycle by now. I have no idea where it ended up. I know I pulled the drive long before that, but that's or drives long before it finally gave up the ghost, but other than that, I don't know. That was a kind of cool machine. I got it for like 10 bucks. The agreement was I had to find my own source of RAM. Like, the school was getting rid of all these, like, Pentium 3s, and they didn't need them anymore, and they still actually had some life in them, because Pentium 2s, Pentium 3s actually weren't bad. They were just out of date the moment the Pentium 4 came on the scene. I think it was a Pentium 2, the more I think about it. But the cool thing about it was it had an S-Video out on the graphics card, which was a really nifty feature, and I could just hook it up to our TV and play things on it. That was just beyond cool at the time. I think I'm gonna take a hit here regardless of my timing. And again, maybe not. Oh, shit. Oh, subtask agent? Oh, my. Value raid. Does that mean it didn't cost much? I think raiding is free. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Sup, Blobbity and Cos Fundu. And, of course, Blue Ribbon. How you doing, Blue Ribbon? If I missed anyone else, I don't think so. But this is a level that requires a certain amount of timing compared to pretty much all of the other ones I've played today. Did not get stuck. That's one thing about my bot. Far too much of it is synchronous. Because doing asynchronous things in Python just doesn't always work the way you like. There we go. We got up here with my power-ups. This is better. Doing good. Hope the gen's going well. Oh yeah. 10 months. Asynchronous Python. Yeah. It is in fact awkward. Sup jQuery. Now I can fight fire with fire, indeed. But yes, I don't know what the deal with value rate is. I am curious what the deal is. The UN mod is great. For the unmod, I am just confused. jQuery's still at 80 channel points. It's not great value. Unicorn mode. Oh, unicorn! Oh, I didn't see this. Oh! Huh! Well, I see it. Now, that's what I get for not implementing things all the way correctly sometimes. I'm just gonna wait for the hammers. Life is easier with fewer hammers. Nope, I remember. That was a mistake I made last time. Anyway, thank you all for coming in. How was the stream, Task Agent? What were you playing? I think I saw you were playing like some Celeste something when I scanned over stuff earlier. But now things make a lot more sense. Value emotes are a trend of deliberately low-quality emotes. Oh. That is something I could deliver on. with my non-existent artistic skills. Here's a just theme for quickly theme for Pride. Nice. Doing some Quickie Mountain too. Oh, cool. I think I saw a little bit of that a few streams back. That might have been like even March now. Jeez, time is flying. Even heard another track that I thought was from Space Jam, but apparently there was a version of it before, the Basketball Jones song. But goes well with time, keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. There we go. I'm still not sure why I did that. Word. Word to your mother. Celeste has been going on for a little while. Yeah, I've caught a few of them. It's one of those games I have and I should play because I know it's good and it's awesome. And I played a little bit of like the original, was it like Pico 8 version, but I've been busy. I had some work things and other reasons why I couldn't stream recently a lot recently, and now those problems have alleviated themselves. So it is nice to be getting done with this. OLDC levels have actually been pretty cool. We came across one earlier where you couldn't jump, and that was a vanilla bug mechanic from a much older version of Lunar Magic, I believe. I'm kind of curious how they did it. I suspect it has something to do with, like, layer water, maybe? I really don't know. But it was definitely a weird level. Huh? Tier 1. Thanks, man. I do love them. They were a lot of fun to implement. But we need to do a little bit of refactoring to make them easier for other games. Okay, and now. Please don't jump this way. But as with all refactoring efforts, it's a lot harder to refactor good or existing code than it is to write new fun features. Probably should explain what I'm doing. I'm judging the old school level design contest levels. So if you did make one of these, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me. Now, and I'm about half the way through now. Usually I moderate stuff for SMW Central or let people like mess with my RAM while I'm playing video games, but today we're getting stuck on disco shells. Today we're sending a tree for the purposes of level design contest judgment. Dang it. Oh shit. Gotta go. Enjoy the other entries. Alright, I will see you later. Quantum. You worked on Kamek some last night? Yeah, I caught some of the Kamek. Kamek is hard. Like, that boss looks just painful. Kind of like an auto-scroller. Though I think someone else made that point more eloquently than I did while I was watching your stream. What's up, Hawaluta? Yeah, this was actually pretty fun, even though it's got some, like, tight timing and stuff. Like, I'm really digging how this all kind of fits together. It's the kind of level that I wish had maybe a few more power-ups, or possibly another midway or something, but ultimately I'll get through it. Because we're playing all the levels without any fanciness. Aside from, you know what, since Task Agent came in, let's just throw one of these. See what we get. Oh, we got Malo. Everyone loves Malo. So, do a random character selection. Have a much smaller Malo. Smaller Malo is a cuter Malo. All Malos are cute Malos, but yeah, still. This sprite was made by Fedora Friday, whose, I wouldn't say his sole goal in life, but one of his many goals in life is to make sure that there's more Malo in more video games. Nope. He is indeed a good cat. I think actually Malo might have been the first sprite I implemented in my system, if I remember right. But it has been a while. Might have been like Malo and Demo, not sure whom. Indeed, I do love a good cat. Actually went to a friend's house the other day. He said I could borrow his router because I was having some problems with the Comcast routers. You know, all things Comcast are truly amazing. They upgraded my router, which now doesn't drop my internet connection once per stream, which I have to say is a lot. It's a pretty big improvement over the old router. But the 5G wireless started dropping randomly at least once per stream, which was worse. And so my buddy Squiggles loaned me one of his routers. And one of my goals, because I was going to his house, was to pet his cat. And his cat was not having it that day, unfortunately. Did not get to pet the cat. I saw her, I thought I might be able to pull it off, and then she ran behind the couch. She's a very skittish cat unless you, like, hang around for an hour or two. So... yeah, you can only get what you hope for. They upgraded your router too? Nice. Yeah, it was a big improvement. It's not perfect. Well, I meant to get the Dragon Coin, but I guess I'll take that. But it is a big improvement. I am legitimately happy with this. And I did finally get my own, like, real router. Got a fancy Netgear one and got it all set up last, I guess it was last Friday. But yeah, just big improvements all around. Alright, here we go. I walked into that. The best part about moving back out of Connecticut is the part to this part of California a few years ago was leaving Comcast. I believe it. I really should look into what other options I have. Because they're just bad. Like, nobody likes Comcast. People will tolerate Comcast, but no one ever says, man, Comcast, that's a good business, and I like the fact that they take my money and provide a service. Especially for the amount they charge. I remember reading about how, like, in Sweden and Japan, you got, like, T1 lines for, like, $50 or something back in, like, 2000, and imagining how cool that would be. Broadband for not terribly expensive. And of course, the dream never actually arrived. Broadband came, but it's terribly expensive. But neither here nor there. But I've been on a bit of a nostalgia kick. I've been doing some reading of older stuff that I had lying around from the older parts of the internet. Probably not the healthiest thing, but makes for some good reading. Guess I'm just gonna go up now. Yep. Okay, Malo. Let's do this. Gotta say, it's one of the more unique vertical levels I've played in a while, in the sense that it really restricts itself to the verticality allowed within the window. Most vertical levels kind of want you to weave back and forth to gain altitude, but this one is like, nah, you're just gonna stay in this one tiny spot and go back and forth, or mostly up in this section. Okay, don't get hit by the hammer. Don't get hit by the hammer. Nope, got hit by the hammer. Amusingly, I suppose, with the entire Comcast conversation, I discovered that the fellow who did my catch from emotes now works for Comcast. Though I will admit this was a humongous improvement for him, and I'm very happy to hear that he is working in tech as opposed to his old career path because of how last year has been. Because while working for Comcast still is kind of evil, it's better than working in the theater at this point in time. Because really, there wasn't a whole lot to be done in the theater at this point in time. Alright, here we go. I keep thinking I'm gonna get a bounce off the shell, and it never happens. Well, dang it. It's like the final pixel there. Which one am I on? Yeah, I would know which one I was on if I looked at the big screen, but whatever. Oh, this is 63. 63 means that after completing this, I'll be over the hump, I think. Nope. Big money, no whammies. You know, I could just destroy that shell. Don't know why I considered that option earlier. Oop. Green beans. Saw someone earlier call them wall springs, and I was just confused. I assumed that there was some sort of, like, bug in Lunar Magic that let you make a wall of springs. Or something. Nope. That's what someone actually called it. A wall spring. In retrospect... Lunar Magic called springboards? Huh. The technical term is wall springboards. Okay. Alright. I have been proven somewhat wrong here. I still think they're called green beans. But I can understand that, like, I guess if Fusuya named it so, then it probably is canonical at this point. Because what else would we call it? Dang it. Oh, I am making negative progress now. Yeah, that was a cute level. Did a little bit of, I think it was a couple streams ago. It was called Why Be Right. All spelled out. I want to be clear on that point. And it told me to do a thing in the room of wall springboards, and I was just baffled. And that was why I did not know those were canonically called wall springboards. But now I know. I know better now. Rest of Twitch is down. Well, as far as I can tell, my stream is up. If the rest of Twitch is down, that is going to be highly disappointing to most people. Sup Beng Wei I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. I'm not Weiwa? Wei, I think. But my understanding of Chinese is very lackluster. I think it's glitching out. I am not aware, but also I'm not watching, other than checking out my stream in out of the corner of my eye to make sure it's not crashed or anything. But if Blue Ribbon's got 2 up, Twitch went out for you the other day. I've had some weird issues with Twitch, not like recently, but like definitely it's not behaving perfectly. Would not begrudge anybody for saying it's not working right. I still think you should be able to spin jump on the tiny ones. Okay. I get the feeling like I'm maybe 4 obstacles away from the friggin' end of the level, or midway, I guess. There we go. Do not get hit by the hammer. Then... don't get hit by that hammer. At least I'm gonna collect that before getting hit by the hammer. Okay. Can he hit me with the hammer all the way over here? No. Up. I swear, the Flying Hammer Brothers are like my kryptonite. I somehow immediately lose all sense of intelligence when faced with a amazing Flying Hammer Brother. Reminds me, I do want to play another ROM Hack Races level, but every time the difficulty is, let's say, suited towards my talents, is a day when I'm busy with, like, people over and doing puzzles or something. I was, like, on last Saturday, I was like, yes, I have time to do this! And then it was, like, a 7.0 or something in terms of difficulty. I'm like, oh, I guess I can't. And then, of course, this week when I had people over doing puzzles, back to 4 difficulty, which is something I feel I can accomplish. You know, this guy's more trouble than he's worth. Especially given I can kind of, like, bait this guy out. And I got lucky there. I think I might have done that one by audio cue. Come on. You know, at this point, I think I'm just going to skip that coin because the likelihood of me living through this is very low. Now. Alright. I'm just not sure how to do that part without getting hit. I've done it a couple times. I think it's mostly a function of getting lucky, but... There we go. If I'm up in the air, it can't hurt me. Oh. There we go. No. No! I knew it. Okay. You know the feeling on our HR, except you're not confident in 4s yet. Alright, it's gonna be one of these types of sections. Alright, this is cute. Speaking of, like, more Kaizo-esque design. This is definitely in the form of more Kaizo-esque design. It's not like Kaizo, but it's definitely more in that direction. Oop. I thought he'd go left. Or I thought he'd go right. H, finally, indeed. The thing about these is some of these levels I just don't click with, or maybe I do something dumb. Like last time. I spent about an hour trying to come up with a solution to a puzzle and only realized after I had beaten the level and no longer needed to solve the puzzle that there was a very simple, elegant solution that did not require all of the bullshit I did. But at least we got the H. Okay, now that was just silly. Yeah, maybe I'll make something that's like my personal favorites. Maybe I'll like do a supercut really quick of those or something. I've been meaning to actually try doing some like video editing stuff again, because it's been years since I picked up like Final Cut Pro and did something. Could be kind of fun to cut up a couple of these playthroughs into something more recognizable than Pat spends 2 hours rambling about this level. Okay, just gonna bait him over here. Well, hopefully I can go in time. No. You know, I wonder if I could have soft-locked myself right there. I bet I could have. And in fact, I think it might be pretty easy to do that if you didn't insist upon getting the 1-up before trying to go through the Wiggler. Aw. In fact, like... Oh, the only reason it's up there is so you can be big and jump up there, and that's why... Oh, that is a hard design constraint to get around. I think if it picked something that wasn't a Wiggler... But then you could jump on it, I guess, and that would defeat some of the purpose of the puzzle. Just don't trust the flame. One of those things. Only you can prevent forest fires. You have selected you, indicating me. That is incorrect. You think it's still possible to get hurt there? Well, we'll try it next time. I do have a backup in case I get stuck. So... I guess maybe Wigglers will wander enough that you can still die? They won't get stuck in a given, like, 1-by-1 tile. but I kind of want to know. Not that it would affect the score, but it's one of those, like, I have to know. It's my moderator sense tingling. Because soft locks kind of suck. I've already found one soft lock in one of these levels. I forget the name, but it used, like, scrolling layer 2 water, and I thought it was actually kind of fun. The part I didn't think was fun was when I got the midway, and it got me stuck. Alright, guess we get to try to bait the Wiggler into making it so I can't die. Yeah, no, he wanders enough that it's not a problem. There we go. It's been a while since I've observed the angry Wiggler. I'm also kind of wondering what's causing the screen to shake. I didn't see a thwomp anywhere, but it's certainly a thing to do. Gotta wait. Gotta keep waiting. I knew it. I knew he was gonna come back for me. I do not believe they are so amazing. They do fly, but I don't believe they're amazing. Alright. This time shall be different. This time I'm gonna get stuck on the green bean. There's something about the simplicity of this particular, like, damage and then spin jump on the spiny bit that I just really love. It's such a simple setup, but it works so well in this context. Just goes to show you don't need the most complicated things. Sometimes you just need them to be satisfying. It's too long here. Okay. I was dead anyway, I guess. That certainly saved me a little bit of time. Sometimes you just need to push a cat through a wall. That's really what we learned here. I've definitely seen that one before. Note blocks have some jank in them. Layer 2 note blocks have a lot of jank in them, but Layer 2 just has a lot of jank in it, so... As again, we discovered yesterday. Oop. The worst part is, I just can't anticipate if he's going to go left or right. Well, hopefully I don't need invulnerability on the way up. It's not even that many obstacles, really, when you get down to it. What? So we went through about, like, what, 4 setups before that? We've seen one dragon coin. We haven't collected one dragon coin. There were 2 dragon coins in the prior area. Maybe 3. I'm trying to think if there were 2 or 3. I want to say there were 3. Yeah, there were 3. There was the one at the disco shell, there was one at the flame, and then there was one at the hammer bro at the end. So we're about 4 dragon coins in, assuming these are mile markers, which they are. So we're not far from the end when we see that other one. But even so. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay. Like, it's weird. It never jumps in the opposite direction unless I'm already big. I wonder if that's an actual thing or I'm just being superstitious. Yeah, because it's just a little bit too long. Dang it. Is there perhaps a way to break that flame by breaking the block? There might be. I'm not sure it'll be worth it because I've got to be big to break the block. I don't think you can just kill it by hitting at the bottom of a turn block, though. Then again, stranger things have happened so far while I've been doing this contest, so it wouldn't surprise me. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that worked. Yeah, this is way more pleasant without the flame. Oh, sup? You're back. Excellent. Gonna be honest, you didn't miss much. Okay. Here. Don't get hit by that specific hammer. I only want to be hit by general hammers. Generalized hammers. What? No, what? What? There we go. That was the plan. Lost a wing, but what we gained. Cloud Flare seems to have basically gone down globally for a little while. Oh, that would explain it. And then we shove a cat into a wall again. Someone else was complaining, or stating that Twitch was going weird, so I wonder if, like, you're in the same sort of cell. The fact that there is one company that, you know, handles traffic for a large amount of the internet, I find to be a little bit disconcerting. Like, I understand that almost everyone else has their own load balancers and whatnot. Like, there's Akamai, and I imagine, like, you can bring up something similar on Google Cloud Engine, or Google Compute Engine, and Azure, and there's probably something fancy for S3 that I don't know what it is, because I don't know what most of what S3 does. And there's so much in S3, AWS at this point. Reloaded and lost stream for 20 minutes. Oh my. Yeah, that is ridiculous. Well, it's the world we live in. Something about preventing DDoS attacks. Alright, I'm safe right here. I think I'm safe right there. Whatever. Bop. I don't like this setup. I really don't like this setup. Says on the stream, FYI, everyone in chat, Fastly, a major cloud provider, is having issues, and they are affecting Twitch. Do not refresh. The best part about how well endowed and very cool. And smart people break everything for fun and profit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't really argue with that. Breaking things is a lot of fun. And I've certainly hacked a few websites in my time. I remember once I found a SQL injection bug in this dude's like personal website, and dang it. I thought about defacing it publicly, and I actually did for a short period of time, and then I'm like, oh, ping of conscience. And so I replaced that and put a note saying, hey, you're vulnerable to SQL injection. If you want to know more, message me. And yeah, he was still kind of pissed at me, but whatever. He did eventually fix his site, and of course he also found the backdoor I left, because that was the thing to do at the time. Kids say that games don't have online multiplayer DLC or electronic payments suck. Try to play these modern online games when your internet is down. Indeed. The nice thing about the SD to SNES is it works no matter what the state of my internet is. It doesn't do all the fancy things that it may do, usually, when the internet is down, but I can still play Donkey Kong Country, and that's enough. I see what I'm doing wrong. I don't want to be on top of that platform. I want to be in here, which means we're doing this again. I'm praying I don't get squished. How dare you look. Yeah. Alright, I see what I did wrong there. Or more accurately, I don't need the mushroom. Or perhaps I actively don't want the mushroom there. Okay. Come on, Malo, let's do this. Gotta rise to the top. Given it seems to only affect refreshing, I wonder if it has something to do with, like, DNS caching or something. Because once you have it, you keep it. But, not a good evening for it. Also, no, I don't want that. Going through there is not useful. I need to get on that platform. And I probably need to be big. What is this glitch? Like... Okay. Don't know, but this shows how big the problem is. Down detector. Reddit, Twitch, oh my. That website probably is a lot more useful if you have JavaScript enabled. Which I do not. Alright, we made it, and I definitely need to be big here. My impatience was my undoing. I saw it, and I rushed it, and it was not a good plan. Oh, thanks, I see it. Just happened to check Discord, and yeah, that's everything down. Microsoft didn't care when they released Windows 8, so there's no opportunity to play anything without installing anything or having an internet connection. Yeah. Windows 8 was just kind of bad. I technically did, like, work on Windows 7 in the sense that I have a Ship It award for it, but I, didn't actually do anything aside from show up for the ship party. Which was pretty good, all things considered. Well, and a little weird. I really don't understand what Windows 7 had anything to do with opening the stock market and how massively anticlimactic opening the stock market actually is. It's not even a real bell, it was just a box with a button. Come on, man. 8.1 is way superior. I don't know. I think 7 is actually probably basically the pinnacle of Windows OSs. At least non-9X ones. Not Windows 98 is the pinnacle of... Now, XP was... 7 probably was the best one. Skinner box. Windows 3. No, Windows 2 was definitely the best one. DOS 7 was the best Windows. I don't know. I still love Windows 98. There's just something about it that just still makes you kind of feel like you're at the dawn of personal computing. Still in control of your computer. That's the big part. Like, software did not auto-update and randomly just decide, nah, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm dumb. 7 and XP. Yeah, XP was really good. I liked 2003. Server 2003 was also pretty dang solid. Mac OS? Yeah, but like... Which Mac OS? Don't make me try and remember as much of the old Three Dead Trolls in a Baggie song, Every OS Sucks. Because that's a classic peak of filk right there. Mac OS is just crippled Unix. Now it is. But you go back to like System 7, System 8, it was something different. It was its own unique thing. In fact, I was trying to get an FMV game working, which is a statement I make way too often. And it would not install on Windows 98. What it did, it said it installed the version of QuickTime that might have broken my copy of Myst. I'm still not entirely sure, but my copy of Myst is already broken, so it's not a huge deal. And then it didn't actually install. Like, it left a shortcut for an executable that it just didn't bother to drop onto the hard drive. Like, confoundingly. It was like, nah, I'm just not going to install. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I guess I can get this working under Basilisk. But... So I got Basilisk, and I got it set up for Mac OS 8, and it did in fact work. And hey, we're Leprechaun Mario. Cool. And that actually did kind of work, but it looks really bad and tiny. Because the game itself is also using a small windowing effect, because it's, you know, a high-resolution FMV game for Mac OS 8. Or OS 7.3 or whatever. But yeah, those games were hard to get to work, regardless. But Basilisk is just kind of... like, macOS, old-school macOS emulation is just kind of not great. Makes me glad that Cliff Johnson finally got like a good setup that people can use to play The Fool's Errand and 3 and 3 and At the Carnival. In case you want to play like a bunch of classic puzzle games for macOS. And they are quite good if you ever are really bored, like perfect airplane games. You can kind of take them at your own pace. Knock out a few of the puzzle types you like and leave the rest for later. It's disputed which Windows OS is the worst. ME, Vista, 8, or 10. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat how bad Vista was. Like, internally at Microsoft, there was always this attitude of you use what you sell. They called it eating your own dog food after our typical story about a dog food CEO who ate his own dog food to demonstrate that, yeah, this is really good dog food, because if I can eat it, dogs will like it. But at Microsoft, that extended to doing any sort of, like, beta, pre-beta, alpha, whatever Greek letter you want testing. But even developers would not use Vista, just because it was so bad. So I think that has to take the cake in terms of that. I can't imagine any of the other ones were bad enough that no developer would use it on their own desktop for developing more Windows. Whereas Windows 7, widely celebrated. Yeah, Longhorn, sure. Longhorn was bad. I mean, the thing about it is Vista made a lot of good decisions, and Longhorn had an awful lot of good ideas, but it just didn't really come together. Like, some of the biggest stuff was they, like, moved a whole bunch of different drivers out of kernel and into user space, and security-wise, that was a huge win. The less you're doing in the kernel, the better things are, and it's kind of been proven over time that you just don't want to do things like render fonts in the kernel because there's a whole bunch of different bugs, and preventing things from being able to, like, execute code because your font is wrong. I'm not even kidding. Fonts can be executable at times. It's one of those absolutely bizarre things. I think the Google people found some interesting bugs in how fonts work in older versions of Windows. Some of which carries forward, and just small unused corners of things, like the Math ML, or whatever Microsoft's math markup for Word was, also had some massive bugs in it. It's hard to win in that circumstance. I have some sympathies, but still. Gotta say, I do love this strategy more than actually dodging that flame. Might be cheesy as hell, but I'll take it. Console us. I just can't. People have tried to convince me that that's a better monospace font, but I am just a Courier New person through and through. Like, when solving puzzles, I will always set the spreadsheet font to Courier New. In fact, I'm using Courier New right now to read chat messages. Alright, cool, we have another shot at the Spiny. I'm gonna wait a cycle. Because I don't want to make the same stupid mistake I made last time. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. Yoshi! I really hope I didn't need to, like, bring a mushroom to make the Yoshi bigger. I'm also hoping that I'm supposed to eat these critters. Well. Maybe this is enough. Come on, Yoshi. Nuts. Just name the first font that came to mind. I like monospace fonts. They make it easier to read names because L's and I's are very clearly differentiated. And in fact, my understanding is if you send a script to Hollywood and it's not written Courier New, they don't even look at it. They're like, oh, this guy's a clown. They don't know. They don't know that you're supposed to use Courier New for your script. So, can I do the Yoshi thing Nope did, or is it above my capabilities? I don't know what Nope did, so I can't tell you that specifically. If you're talking about like a double eat glitch, I'm aware of some, but I don't know if I can do it on command. I don't think I need a double eat glitch, I just need to not mess up the green bean bit. Okay. No, don't oh, come on. I think you might be a bit in the past, Basalt Man. Though I would advise against refreshing for obvious reasons. How long have I been at this? You know, maybe the part where I need to rush because I'm gonna get hit is not the time to check with how long I've been at it. I've been at this level for an hour. Okay. That's fair. We were cruising. And then we stopped cruising. I guess what I could have done is thrown the Yoshi upward and then tried to ride the Yoshi with a spin jump. Like I could ride the Spiny with a spin jump. That is a theoretical thing I could have done. That would have been smarter than ditching the Yoshi into the munchers. Not gonna let that go pie me again. Alright. And chill. And pray I don't get shoved into a wall. It's one thing to shove a cat into a wall. Cats kind of like being in walls. Leprechauns, though, they don't like being in walls at all. I should grab the newer version of this now. There's a newer version of Leprechaun Mario. I probably should use that. I foresee me riding this guy for a little bit longer. You might be wondering how I ended up here. Alright. So first off, that's one Yoshi eat. Then use Yoshi to not die. 2, 3. Yoshi can't catch on things. So if I do this, that's not gonna work. Alright, that's 4. So this should work. Okay. I foresee... Oh, what? Okay, I scare the Yoshi. And I think I need... Oh, I need the shell. Oh, God. Okay, so I have the shell now. But he's a kicker. So killing him is going to be irritating. Oh, that works. So now there's a shell down there. Alright, solved that problem. I get the feeling that wasn't what I was supposed to do. That was bad. What was I supposed to do there? Like, I like the concept of this level, but man, does it drag. It goes on and on and on and on. It's kind of funny, because, like, I think the last level, I'm like, I really would have liked a bit more level. But this I'm pretty sure I'm okay with a little less level. Alright. And here, wait, go. I think I haven't died to that hammer before. I have not died to that hammer before. That is a new death. I am proud of my new death. Maybe. Maybe. I have to say, I've been kind of tempted to do some programming for Windows 98. Beyond what I've done recently with, like, the little bit of Python 2.3 that is available. Because, like, it supports an older version of .NET, so there are things I could do that are definitely without having to, like, really get into the minutia of Windows programming. Because, like, I've you know, grabbed my set of WinProcs in the past, and I know how to make a COM object and all that jazz. I don't think I want to do that more. I'm good on that front. Okay, there we go. Boing, 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 boing. Okay. Alright, I'm feeling it. It's this Yoshi. Okay. I like this part a lot. I kind of wish there was a third shell just to make it so you have to pay attention a little bit more. But anyway... Classic Longhorn was more ambitious than Final Vista was. It's more advanced than even 10 in a few places. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Like, it had a lot of interesting ideas. And nowadays, we don't see nearly as many interesting ideas in operating systems just because, like, nobody cares about operating systems. Every app is an Electron app. Your web browser has become its own operating system in effect. That's way early. Ugh. Alright. Oh, for fuck's sake. Especially like in the file system arena. They had a bunch of interesting ideas about trying to make it more like a database as opposed to the hierarchical file system. And it was an interesting idea. And in some ways, that's how people really do use their file systems now. They don't, like, actually care about where things are. They just use search for everything. I am not one of those people, so it's not, like, a huge loss for me when search doesn't work. But when it comes to, like, my old hard drives, search would have been more useful that way. There we go. It was already something different from Windows versions after Windows 98 and before ME. Potentially new Windows. Just new, yeah. I mean, it was still based on NT. Like, you can't get away from NT at Microsoft. NT Dev. A little bit of nostalgia. A little bit. Okay, cool. I swear, my favorite feature of Amazing Flying Hammer Brothers, that their hammers despawn when they go off the top of the screen. Okay. Yeah, ME was 9X, but worse. Though I think it had like a little bit of better support for USB stuff, I think. Like that was the one thing ME was better at, but don't quote me on it. BSODs weren't fatal. Didn't know that was the case in me. I mean, BSODs aren't actually fatal in 98 either. It just depends upon the type of BSOD. In fact, one of my like channel points things, my alerts when I'm playing Windows 98 games is you can open the CD-ROM drive, and that occasionally causes short BSODs, not bad ones. Nope. Alright, there we go. Oops. No, not that one. Not that one either. I can't believe that worked. I think I screwed up. I think what you're supposed to do is, like, grow a vine through all that nonsense. Like, you don't get enough vulnerability to do anything here. Not all of them are fatal. NT BSODs were always fatal, yeah. But in NT, in the case of NT, like, something legitimately was really awful. In the case of Windows 98, it was usually an assumption was violated. Like, you ejected a disk. Floppy or CD. And my refrigerator starts to whine. Really hoping there's not that much past the Yoshi bit, but I definitely see what I'm supposed to do, I think. Or I'm getting monstrously unlucky in that shell is not hitting the thing it's supposed to be hitting. Okay. Left, right, left. Get my mushroom. Wait. Okay. At least I'm building consistency here. So glad I can get on the first cycle. Because otherwise this would suck. Alright. Wait for flame. No! Okay. Yeah, nothing. That didn't work. Can't believe Longhorn would have been like what was in prototype material in 2003, 2004. Yeah. I think people were willing to take more ambitious strides in software then. The new material design, I don't know. I feel like everyone just doesn't want you to use horizontal space. I have a lot of horizontal space, but not much vertical space, and everyone seems to want to waste it. Like, just giant, empty margins is really sort of the current what's in design. Yeah, WinFS would not make a whole lot of sense in today's age. The search has gotten a lot better. I still think you're probably like 2 minutes in the past. Or possibly longer. I'm not exactly certain when I mentioned WinFS. One of my favorite features of Franker's eFace is that it can tell you how far behind in the stream you are. I usually hope for about 2 seconds, but some people's streams are more latent. And I get about 5 seconds. It's like Faro's, because Faro's connection sucks. Takes a bit higher latency on that. Okay. Let's go. Let's go Yoshi. It's a bit like Let's Go Pikachu, but different. Okay, cool. We have a full-up Yoshi. So now we can actually go places. Okay. Alright, now here's the hard part. Dagnabbit! I still don't know what's in that box. Like, what could possibly, aside from a vine in that box, make any sense there? Either way, I need to aim a little bit lower than what I think is correct. Yeah, I think this level's cool. I think it just overstays its welcome a little bit. I have an idea about who may have made this level, but I'm definitely not going to make any guesses, like I said. Not sure if the shell part was properly tested. It wouldn't surprise me. There's a certain amount of creator bias that you get in these things. And it wouldn't surprise me if the creator of this level was like, yeah, this works. Really would love more than one shot at it. Like, it probably would have been fine if the other shell wasn't there. But as it stands, every time I fail it, I have to go through this entire section again. It takes about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So we will see. We will see. Hopefully see soon. I need to go to bed because I do still have work tomorrow. But I wanted to stream today because I would not be able to stream tomorrow. Tuesday is just a bit too busy, and then Wednesday I'm going to be busy too, so... But Thursday. Always Thursdays. Because that's just what happened at some point. I just streamed on Thursdays. Okay. I hate Hammer Bros so much. I just need to wait a little bit longer on the second lap there. On the second switchback. Okay. Wait for it. Like, I really do want to beat this level this evening. Because, unlike some other ones, I am insanely close when I feel insanely close. I think I'm like 2 obstacles away from the end. And if I'm not, I don't know what to say. My intuition is clearly wrong. There we go. Boing. That's the first time that didn't line up perfectly. Well, huh. Well, this is gonna be awkward. No, it wasn't awkward. I missed the rope there. I could have just waited. Would have been fine. I have died in a lot of weird places. Not sure my thing is working properly anymore. I think maybe some assumption may have been violated when playing this many levels. Reminds me, I probably should just, like, clear the cache on every single hack command. Because that's a thing I can do. And probably should do. It's very possible these all have the same, like, some number of them have the same hash. Alright. Up. Wait for it. No, one more cycle. Too late. Okay. We're back to my buddy Yoshi. Give me the big Yoshi. Big Yoshi. While they are somewhat puerile, I will admit I still kind of do enjoy the occasional dunky practical prank call video. Alright. Nope. Okay, and I'll wait for him to go backwards. So he's unaware that he could... Oh, come on. Does that make this easier or harder? No, it makes it impossible. Unwinnable. Yep. If I'd managed to hold on to it, maybe that would have made it easier. Yeah, I feel this just needs a little, like, weatherproofing. Boing. Hey. Got quite the score on this level. You can tell I've been here a while. Alright. So, there we go. Anyway. I think that's kind of the biggest problem in OSs now, is like, there's no good reason to upgrade. Maybe people said this a lot during the Windows 98 era, but like, I just don't feel any excitement when like someone's like, oh yeah, we could upgrade OSs. Like, okay, what's new? And they're like, some stuff. Windows 10 certainly didn't seem like an upgrade to Windows 7, and especially because like you get ads and it installs random software and all sorts of other crap. Not believe I missed that jump. Whereas, like, the jump from, like, 9x to XP or even 2000 seemed like a humongous jump. And now it's like, well, it's like, it's got a new number. Okay. Not quite as cool as it once was. One... Bonk, 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 bonk. Okay. Up and at them. Cool. Don't get hit by the hammer, don't get hit by the hammer, don't get hit by the hammer. Cool. I am not certain focusing is helping me out any more than talking. Okay. Back to the Yoshi part. Did I get a double eat there? I think I did. Might make this next thing a little bit awkward. Guess not. Alright, well. Drop the Yoshi. Alright. Please don't get stuck. It did not get stuck. Okay, there we go. Damn it! Okay. I just don't even know. Like, even if that pops something out, what could it possibly emit that's gonna be... Like, the only thing that could possibly be in there, it could be a mushroom. I guess if I have a mushroom, I can do that part. Oh, thank you for following, Curly 24881. How you doing? Thank you for the follow. We are trying to beat this level for the old school level design contest. And not having an immense amount of success. I think this might be the longest amount of time I've spent in a single level. Though, I don't have that data in front of me. There we go. Okay. Gotta calm down. And shove myself into the wall. Keep calm and shove myself into the wall. Okay. Yeah, I have to get this in the next couple tries, otherwise I'm just gonna have to do this again later. First half wasn't so bad. The second half, though, Windows 10 sucked because it was made available to publicity in its beta phase. Now it's a service and Microsoft strives to make it the best Windows OS ever made. Yeah. I don't think they're going to succeed. Oh, come on. I jumped. Just... I am out of things to say about that. Yeah, it's a service. OS as a service is just weird. And it's not surprising. Like, everyone seems to want to move over to the software as a service model just because it's an easier way to make money. Because you get more money from people over time if you have a subscription model. Like, but Windows doesn't really work that way. And of course, you still, you know, can buy a boxed copy of it for like 40 bucks. So, I don't know what they're thinking, really. Then again, sell ads seems to be the answer to most quandaries these days. Or maybe that's actually lucrative enough to justify it. It's not like Office used to print money or anything. Like, it literally used to print money. Amusing bit of Microsoft accounting. Office for Mac was part of the entertainment division, and that's what made Xbox look profitable. It was one of the strangest accounting decisions, but it worked out. Intended to be the last Windows OS in a while until Microsoft recently announced a brand new line of Windows. Oh my. what could possibly be in the brand new line of Windows that makes me excited about my operating system again. Just ARM support seems to be all the rage these days. I guess that could be pretty cool, but I know Windows has been supporting ARM for a while. And .NET certainly has support for it. Wow, it moved the little dot. That's kind of cool. Okay. There we go. Gotta wait for him to come back. Alright. Oh, thank you for following. Super duper Alex. 63. Edward, 2287. Am I mean like... No, that's a lot of random follows. Thank you for following, people. I was briefly confused. That name looks familiar. I wonder if that... someone like Squidman. I could be wrong. Ah, nope. Okay. Good, it didn't get stuck. Alright, here we go. It's a mushroom. Okay. That was cool, but unnecessary. Whereas the mushroom seems required. And the blue shell is certainly required. Oh, for Pete's sake. So now I get down here. And yeah, I can't go anywhere. Oh, that's really annoying. I get it, and then I fail it. Twice. But at least I'm there. I'm getting there. I get this. I think that maybe one more good shot we'll have this, and there can't be much more level after that, can there? Suddenly realize that's a death flag statement, isn't it? Oh. My instinct was wrong there. Can't remember the name. I think it's something like Cedar. Oh, remember this name from his OLDC judging. Gotcha. All comes down to time zones, I suppose. I've seen Edward Squidman around, but I don't know any other people of that name. Helped him test Lewd Mario World, which was actually pretty fun. And much like other little puzzles, I got way fixated on doing something the wrong way. I got so stuck on that jump. I thought I needed to do some like fancy shell jump shenanigans. No. Just needed to notice that I could hit the block more than once. Alright, here we go. Bounce. Okay. Cool. Now we're up. Gotta wait. Get my Yoshi. Somehow not fail this part. Perfect. Just gotta drop the Yoshi. Oh, what's up, Shadow Boy? How you doing? I've been at this level for more than an hour now. That's how I'm doing. You'd think after like an hour I would finally learn how that shell bounce works, but I'm still blind apparently. There we go. We got it. Almost there. Lower than I think. Now the hard part. Oh, I got it. I got both things I needed. Holy cow. Don't even care. Right. Got Yoshi. Just need to make sure he doesn't like, eat the shell. I'm not sure what... Oh, crap, I probably need to race this. I've probably already lost. Oh my... no. I didn't even realize I was racing. 100% didn't realize I was racing. Well, there's the moon. You're good? How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good, aside from the fact that I almost beat the level before realizing there was more level. You're finally done with exams? Oh, that's great. Hope you did well on your exams. Do remember being a wee youngin' and fearing those things. I'm glad to hear you're doing alright too, Edward. Just always surprised when, like, multiple people come in and follow all at the same time. I don't get too many follows in the grand scheme of things, so I was a bit surprised. Better than you thought? That's even better. Beating your own expectations is often a good sign, unless you had your expectations calibrated way too low. Alright, this is the last try. If I don't get it this time, I'm gonna have to resume this one next time. Even though it's already been an hour. Or maybe I'll throw it into the, like, list of things to come back and do. Because at this point, I need to go to bed in the near future. Got a meeting to attend in about 6 hours. A little less than 7 hours. Need to be awake and alert for that. There we go. Okay. But I've built the consistency. Like, I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling less good about this. I could cheese this. I could cheat. But I'm not going to. We'll finish this one up next time. I am just too tired to do this, unfortunately. One of those things. Where it's already like 4 a.m., so... Which is disappointing to me, and I imagine disappointing to y'all, too. But it also has been an hour and 30 minutes on this level, which is ridiculous, given I have so many more to do. But it's basically the perfect hump level. It's right in the middle, and it's really challenging. So... we will resume with this one next time, and I'll have to write even fancier stuff to make my judging page work. I think... Don't refresh or the stream will never load for you. I think with a title like that, I can't argue with rating TJB. So let's set up a raid, and then be mildly annoyed about the fact that I have to watch an ad so that I can raid somebody and actually see the raid go through. But anyway, TJB's cool. He was here earlier, and yeah, he was cool. He's cool. He's playing probably some Kaizo thing or some shell thing. I'm not exactly sure. Horses. I think that's the new morsel hack. But anyway, much as I'd love to continue, I think I need to head off here. So thank you all for watching. I'll be back to do more judging on Thursday, slightly before midnight PST. That's simply how I roll. Or slightly after midnight PST. Yeah, after. But yeah, and then thank you for watching. Saltman, Ultra Boy, have a good night. Everybody have a good night, good rest of your day, whatever your time zone allows, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna push the button now.